So let's discuss about IV. IV is something which is very important for as a for any option trader, be it option buyer or option seller. Okay, if you are option buyer, then also it is very important, and option seller for them also it is very important. Okay, it is important for option seller up to such extent that some option sellers are there, like a proper category of option seller is there which trade only the IVs. Okay, they don't trade the delta, they don't trade any other thing, like they don't capture theta also. Okay, they are not interested in delta or theta, they are just interested in this IV thing. And that is their job. They do it very effectively. So we'll be discussing about how it is done and how we can exploit that as an option buyer. Okay, and it is very important for us option buyers also. IV, we have like, as you all know, IV is like implied volatility. Okay, this is the cumulative volatility of all the market participants. Okay, we won't go bother much about its definition or anything. You should understand that whenever any volatility is expected, okay, any upcoming volatility is expected, so in that scenario IV increases. Okay, so if the IV increases, what will be the effects and how IV increases, on which time IV increases? So those are the questions which we will I'll answer, and afterwards how we can exploit this IV to our favor. Okay, so this is the these are the points here I'll be discussing now. Look at this chart. Okay, this is the chart of Nifty puts of last week, and similarly the calls. Okay, now before discussing those charts, before going through detail with them, let me discuss about this thing. Okay, this is the chart of Nifty on the day of when Mr. Putin came into like media and declared about those things, they are deploying more troops or anything like that. Okay, so on the morning of that day, we got chart like this. So this is iCharts. We are getting this like screenshot is from iCharts. So in iCharts, you have multi-strike Y window. You can see a lot of like different strikes. They are open interest. Okay. Now there is one more line there which you can see, that is IV, and this black line, this is price. This is price of Nifty. This chart belongs to Nifty. Now let's see this how IV behaved when this price was going down. You must have seen that I had posted this chart in the Signal channel as well as the free channel also. So there you can see price was initially going down, which was normal natural trading day, and not much anything unexpected was not there in the markets up to that point. And afterwards we got the news of Mr. Putin coming into TV at around 11:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and at that time afterwards market became stagnant. Okay, you can see IB was also flat at the time. Price was also totally flat. Okay, this is black line, that is of price of Nifty. So that was also flat. Now what happened? After the announcement started, look at the increase in IV. Okay. Look at the shoot up in IV. And we are not bothered here about the actual numbers, although the actual numbers were of around 40. It was trading at around 25, 28 like that, and it went up to 35, 38, and up to 40. But look at the increase in IV, and with that increase, okay, Nifty started to fall. Nifty was falling continuously, and IV was shooting up from 11:30 to up to 12:30. And look at these charts. This is puts. Okay, these are this is chart of Nifty 7650 put, and this was trading at around 60 rupees. Okay, at the price of around 60 rupees on the at around 11:30 a.m. And look what happened to it. It went up to 125 rupees by 12:30. Okay, so this is the increment in the prices of puts, went up to more than even double of its initial value. And look at the decrease in the prices of calls. Okay, it went from 140 up to like a 90 or 100 as so. Now, this is fairly natural. Now, you have to understand about, look at this thing. Okay, look at this decrease in IV. So in this decrease in IV phase, when IV started to decrease, okay, because see, IV is not entirely related to the movement of the market. Market can move, but still IV can decrease because IV is related to the volatility. Okay, if something unexpected is happening or something is happening which like people were not expecting or not anticipating, they were not prepared for that, then IV will increase. But afterwards, this short covering rally, okay, which happened in the market afterwards, okay, price bounced back again from this level and started to go up. At that time, you can see IV was decreasing. Okay. Even when the price was increasing, IV was decreasing. So look at the increase in the value of calls. Calls were not increasing much. Okay, they were increasing, but not that much. Instead, look at the decrease in the value of puts. Okay, puts started decrease from around 12:30 p.m. You can see price put started to decrease, and that went up to the initial level itself. Okay, at around 60-70 rupees from that level, from which level they started to rise, they went up to that level only. But look at the calls. Calls, jahan se start हुए थे, calls were starting to decrease from 140 level. They did not touch that level. Okay, so what does that mean? If IV is decreasing, the option prices they won't increase much, even if you are correct with your direction. Okay, but if IV is increasing, in that case, your option prices they will increase. If you are correct with the direction, if you are correct with the delta, then obviously your prices will increase exponentially. But even if you are wrong, so usme prices won't decrease that much, as they will decrease when the IV is going opposite to you. Okay. So this is something which you have to understand, guys. What happens now? People like whenever market is falling, so see what happens. It takes an expert to judge the direction of market at around this level. Okay, but once the market has started to fall, and then the news is also there. So in that scenario, a lot of people can see the direction. When the market is pretty obvious that market is falling, so a lot of people can see that. And once they see that yeah, market is looking very weak and market is continuously falling, so they enter. Okay, and because retailer like as an option buyer, they enter and they make good money also. And because we get tempted, because we see yeah, there is a news that market is falling and like news of war is coming and all, so they get tempted, they go all in, they don't think about risk management or anything, they just position sizing, they don't think about that, they buy option worth all the money which they have in their account. Okay, and they will make good money also. Okay, they will make good money in this fall, and they will be very happy. But then again, immediately afterwards, once they exit with the profits, then they start regretting, yeah, looks like the market can fall further. Okay, we should enter again, and we should make further more money. Okay, so in that process, what they do, they enter again. Okay, and once they enter, like if market starts revert, so यहाँ पे you can see market, even market fluctuates slightly, the IV will start decreasing. Look at the decrease in IV. Okay, IV started to decrease here and here also. So IV started to decrease suddenly. So वहाँ पे like the profit which you have made in this whole rally, you will lose all of that profit in this only very small rally. That is against you. If you enter in puts, even if you enter in the direction of calls, you won't make much money. Okay, so this is something very difficult for option buyer. And once you understand this, then only you can conquer it. Otherwise, what happens? People, they make good money in this fall, but they are not able to retain that money and not able to take that money their home. Instead, what they do, they enter again and they lose their money. Whatever they have gained, they lose their money. And here the part of psychology also comes into play. People think, yeah, I'm risking only that much amount which I have earned in this fall. So you should understand this कि आपने जो भी profit बनाया है, whether you have made 1 rupees or 10 rupees or 1 lakh, 1 crore, that doesn't matter. That money is yours. Okay, whatever money you are seeing in form of green P&L statement, that is yours. Okay, it's just a matter of time कि that will reflect in your bank account. Okay, it is not in your now it is in your P&L. Tomorrow it will be in your Demat account, and you can transfer that to your bank account. People don't think like that. People think here whatever I have made, I can risk all of them. It should not be like that. Okay, whenever let's say you make good money in any IV increasing scenario, in that case, if you further take any trade, so in that second trade or third trade, whatever you are taking, there you have to decrease your quantity instead of increasing it. People increase their quantity and they lose much, and then they ruin their account. That should not be the case. You have to decrease your quantity whenever IV is decreasing. If like whenever you feel like yeah, now IV can decrease, okay. Obviously, you can't sit in the market and see the charts. Yeah, now it is decreasing. Now I should not enter and all. You should have an idea. Okay? You knew that the market was falling because of a news, and once the speech was over, or once the all the like whatever statement they were out in the public, then IV will start decreasing. Similarly, in case of any result, you must have seen that same thing happening on the day of budget. Okay, on the day of budget also IV increased, and the moment budget started to announce, IV started to decrease. Okay, so that happens on the day of budget also. That happens whenever any stock declares its result also. So there also, or any other news comes into the market, or market starts falling suddenly, then also IV start to increase. Okay, but afterwards IV cools off, and once the everything is settled and once everything is out in the open, then IV start to decrease. So as an option buyer, you have to like be in the trades when IV is increasing, when IV is flat. Okay, when IV is high or low, that doesn't matter. IV should be flat. Okay, but you should stay away when the IV is decreasing. Okay, and once you do enough practice, once you take enough trades, you will understand this from the prices of your option only. You won't have to look at the charts, or you won't have to look at the data or absolute numbers. You will get the idea from the chart prices only, because what happens once we enter in the trade. Okay, see my like play is that I enter based on the Y data and the price action. Once we enter in the trade, I don't see the options chart. Instead, I like to see the spot chart or underlying chart based on which I have taken the trade. So if underlying is moving, okay, if let's say you are in the call side right now, okay, you have taken calls, and if prices are going upwards, still your options are not increasing in that much value. Okay, then you should immediately understand, yeah, there is like role of IV being played here. Vol crash is happening. Okay, this thing which this decrease in IV, implied volatility, decrease in implied volatility is called vol crash, volatility crash. So that is happening, and our prices are not increasing much. Okay, as you can see, next day on the day of expiry also we were taking, on the day of trade meeting also we had taken puts, but next day market opened gap down also. Still we did not got much profit in those puts, because like IV crash was happening, vol crash was happening because of that. So this is something which you should understand and take care of. And option seller, they what they do, they wait for these opportunities. Whenever IV spikes, they sell both calls and puts. Okay, because they know that both calls and puts will decrease in their value when the IV start to settle down. So whenever IV spikes, they start selling both calls and puts. You can see here itself when IV was very high at around 12:30. So if they started to sell option at this point, so at around they sold calls at 90 rupees and puts at 125 rupees. So by the time IV pulled off, IV decreased, the calls were trading at around 120 rupees, so from 90 to 120. But the put, they decreased from 125 to up to 60 rupees. So around 30 or 40 rupees difference was there, which was their gain. Okay. So they play for this thing, the option sellers. But what happens as an option, they will bleed money when IV will increase. Okay. So that is a dire scenario for them, and they will cover their shorts. That also happens whenever market starts falling suddenly now, and IV start to increase. So these option sellers which are there in the market to capture the decrease in IV, they also start covering their position. So in that case, if IV is increasing, the options value, although that increase because of IV as well as demand and supply, but then that option value also increase because of hitting of their stop losses. Okay, because a lot of stop losses hit, so the option value they also explode. And because in this scenario only, we as an option buyer, we make like exponential gains. Okay, so we have to look for these kind of scenarios, and whenever they are available, you don't have to leave that. Okay, and if you look carefully in the market, these kind of scenario they will present to you, and you will make good money. Okay, I'm talking about this day. Actually, this is the chart of Nifty. I had this with me. So look at this. Okay, so this was the day market started to fall and then again increase, but still IV decrease there. Okay. So that's it regarding the IV thing. Now we'll discuss other parts, other topics.